Are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Listen to those words again.
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
On May 7th, 2024, Robeson County Sheriff's Department ruled that Mica Miller had died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The evidence was clear. She went to a pawn shop in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, then drove to North Carolina to a state park where she took her own life. But despite that investigation by law enforcement, many began to point the fingers towards her pastor husband, John Paul Miller.
He started taking medication for his mental health. He's been on schizophrenia medication for over 20 years.
And the accusations started to fly. And a lot of those accusations turned out to be true.
It talks about a tracker being put on her car. It talks about her tires being slashed. It talks about this device being jabbed into her tires to let the air out.
Affairs, tracking devices. And he just wouldn't stop talking.
He came out and told me, he said she's having a schizophrenic episode, and he said that the anesthesia that she just came out of must have triggered it.
But now, maybe he's just talked a little too much. Because there's a new tape. And in my opinion, it's pretty damning.
She had another episode. In that episode, she had a whole episode. She thought artificial intelligence was after her.
As I said, Mica Miller died on April 27th, 2024. And just days later, on May 2nd, Pastor John Paul Miller had a staff meeting at Crocodile Rocks, a piano bar in which he was a part owner of. Yes, that's right, a pastor, part owner of a bar in Myrtle Beach. Now, the timeline is very important here, because Fitz News is the one who broke the story of John Paul Miller's bizarre announcement he made on April 28th. That story came out on May 2nd. The next day, on May 3rd, I reported on the bizarre announcement video.
Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next little bit. 'Cause I don't want to have. I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away, and it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina.
So that means this. Nothing was known about John Paul Miller at the time. Nothing was known about Mica other than she had passed away. We didn't know about Trisha Ross. We didn't know about Susie Skinner. We didn't know about him hitting women with his truck. We didn't know about affairs. We didn't know about tracking devices. We didn't know about slashed tires. We didn't know any of that stuff. At the time of this May 2nd meeting, all we knew was a bizarre announcement and the death of Mica. That's it. But it seems that John Paul Miller knew a lot, and he reveals it in this meeting. Remember this July interview on News Nation where John Paul Miller blames me for witnesses not coming forward.
So they sold her a weapon, and then I assumed that she drove. She told one of her best friends. So far, the four people she spent the most time with every week, no one's interviewed or talked to those four people. And one of those people that I talked to told me that she told her 2 years ago, if I ever commit suicide, I'm going to go to this place in Lumberton, the state park or something like that.
Which friend is that?
I probably wouldn't want to name her because I saw this friend one time here in public for 30 seconds. And of course, Robbie, as Harvey, as usual, got somebody to take a picture and destroyed the girl's life, brought up her past and horrible things about her. So people are scared to tell the truth or to talk about the good things of Mica because of the social media.
John Paul Miller says a witness spoke with Mica, and Mica told her that she had plans to go to Lumber River State Park to take her own life. And Miller says that witness was scared to come forward because of me. Now listen to the May 2nd audio. 2 months prior.
And I just got about a few hours ago from somebody I talked to that Mica told them 3 years ago that she was researching if she ever did this, it would be in Lumberton State Park. I didn't even know she did it in the city of Lumberton system.
But it gets even more interesting. Remember, a lot of people have questioned the use of AI, fake phone calls. When the 911 call of Mica came out, friends and family immediately spoke up and said, that's not Mica.
It doesn't sound like Mica during the 911 call.
Yeah, just hearing her voice, it was not. I even went back on and you know, listened to her songs and stuff to think, you know, I know her voice did drop a little bit over this last year from a couple things, but even that I couldn't. I just knew it wasn't her.
To be honest, I thought it was a crazy idea. I didn't believe it myself. And then I got my own fake phone calls. But that's beside the point. Remember, this audio was May 2nd. Artificial intelligence hadn't even been thought of at the time. Listen.
So she thought that artificial intelligence was after her, according to her text. She thought that I was going to lock her up somewhere where they would do things to her mind. And so she left.
According to John Paul Miller himself, Mica believed AI was coming after her. And she believed that John Paul was going to lock her up and do things to her mind.
So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs, or alcohol abuse, or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are.
Now there's this. Listen to her words again.
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Now listen to John Paul.
And she called the police, and she told the police, I'm about to kill myself. Can you find my location for my family to have my body? I wish they had said, like, no, or let's talk about it or something, but they said yes. And
he knows, almost verbatim, what Mica said in that call. Remember, Robeson County Sheriff's Department didn't announce the results of their investigation until May 7th, 5 days after this meeting. But somehow John Paul Miller knew the details of the 911 call prior to the results of their investigation.
And she called the police, and she told the police, I'm about to kill myself. Can you find my location for my family to have my body? I wish they had said, like, no, or let's talk about it or something, but they said yes. And
so either one of two things happened here. Robeson County Sheriff's Department released critical details of an active investigation, or
Mica had already appointed our sister Sierra over her email, her passwords to it, her Facebook account. Mica had been keeping track of all of her abuse, wrote every affidavit that someone has given her or their testimony against what they've seen. For the lawyers, she had a huge binder already prepared. She had all kinds of journals. She was anticipating something bad happening to her.
The FBI continues to investigate the death of Mica Miller.
There goes the devil creeping in my life's design. So where does it get you? Being such a damn nice guy. I've been trying to reach you ever since you bought that suit and tie. Man, you look nice. And dear God, I hate to say I'm sorry, but I just want you to love me, even though